Money Confidence. I'm Crystal Oculi, and I'm the Chief Financial Strategist here at Confidence Wealth. Every week, I try to bring up topics that are coming up in conversations and see if this can be of help to you or any of your friends and family. So I had many clients and many of their friends that I saw this week that were actually retiring. So it was one of those weeks that was all about retirement, which is pretty exciting. Now, I know many times when people think about retirement, they're thinking about, can I pay for the basics? And sometimes they do put a plan together in place. And in some cases, I've seen where people just come to me at retirement and say, okay, am I okay now that I retired? So first of all, what's really important is understanding your cash flow. You have to know what you're spending today, so then you can account for what you are going to spend plus inflation during your retirement. The other thing to keep in mind is that every day is like the weekend during retirement. So if you were spending money on going out and eating, the chances are you may spend more money on going out and eating, or you may be cooking at home and buying a lot more groceries, possibly because you have time if you like cooking and so forth. Or let's just talk about vacations or mini getaways. You're going to have a lot more time on your hands, so you can plan on a lot more of those fun stuff that you didn't get to do when you were working as often. So that's the financial aspect of it. So where do you begin to really understand what my expenses are going to look like? Besides understanding the basics and so forth, what I want to bring up to your attention is I think one of the things a lot of people miss is planning on what are they going to do in retirement in general. So imagine you're no longer working. What are you doing now? How are you spending your time? What does your day look like? I know this sounds so like daunting for a lot of people. They're like, well, I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands. I'm going to be okay. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't know what you're going to do, truly think about that. How are you going to spend most of your days? You are, first of all, not going to be satisfied with your retirement, and you're not going to have a sense of purpose, because I think that's extremely important. And even financially more important is you won't know how much you're going to need in order to live comfortably in your retirement. So it is really important to account for that, because a lot of times people spend so much time planning for a vacation than they ever do when it comes to their retirement. Imagine when you are planning your, or just forget imagining, just think about the last time you went on a vacation. How much time did you spend? You had to get the airline tickets. You knew how long it's going to take. If you had a layover, you knew how long you're going to be at the airport. Maybe you brought a book along that you were going to read during that downtime. You planned activities on that vacation. You then packed for that vacation, knowing what you're going to wear. So isn't it interesting? A lot of times people spend more time planning a vacation than they do the ultimate planning for their ultimate vacation, which is I call retirement your permanent vacation, because really that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to spend your time doing all the things that you love, and you don't have to run to get there to work on time. The time is all up to you and what you want to do. So start really thinking about that, whether you are 5 years away, 10 years away, or 1 year away. I want you to just sit and say, what will I be doing? What will I be doing Monday through Friday? What would I be doing over the weekend? And think about that. Is there a difference between Monday versus Saturday? For some people, it may not be. It might be every day they can do something that's weekend driven. They may want to take more vacations, or maybe you have a hobby that you've been wanting to master. Let's say you love playing golf, and now you can play golf all the time. Or you love playing tennis, and now you can play tennis all the time. So you can see all these will lead into how much money you're going to need for retirement, plus having the plan of what are you going to do, which is even more exciting. So do take time with that. If it's again, if you're single, sit down, plan a day where you're going to go with a girlfriend or something, or guys, go with your buddies and sit down and talk about what are the fun things and plan with them. What are the fun things you would do if you were retired? If you're married, that makes it even more important, and you would think easier, but no, not really. It could be more difficult. Talk to each other about what do you both want to do during retirement, because you may have different goals. You may think about different things. So talk to friends that are already retired. So that'll make it a lot easier, because they may talk about things they're doing in the retirement that you like, maybe volunteering. So I have seen that people that live long, healthy, wonderful retirement life are the ones that have a sense of purpose. They know what they're doing and they're not going at it aimlessly, because it really will feel that way. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people age and not really enjoy retirement because they didn't think about it, and they just had a great time maybe that first year or first couple of years, and then they got really bored because they're like, what do I do now? Versus I have clients where they knew they're going to do some volunteering work, or they were part of the plan was to move closer to the grandkids so they can be involved in the grandkids' life. Whatever that sense of purpose is for you, that's what you want to do. I have clients that decided the first, few years of retirement, they're going to get an RV and they're going to go around the country. And then after that, they're going to sell their house and they're going to downsize and buy a different house and rebuild. And that may take, a couple of years of working on the house. And maybe they love gardening, so they're planning a fantastic garden in the backyard. So they really are having a plan of how much of their time is going to be spent on the things that they love. And they're having, this strategy of the next decade. What are we going to do? At least that first decade. And then maybe you think about the following decade afterward, whatever it may be. So again, understanding your activities and understanding what you're going to do in your free time is really going to help plan how much and what you are going to need in retirement. For some people, retirement is about reinventing themselves. Maybe they're going to now focus on some sort of a hobby that turns into a business. Maybe they want to, maybe that's you. Maybe you want to do something that is going to make you some money while you do something you love. Maybe you love antiques and really want to deal in some antiques and sell some antiques. And that would be something you love doing. And at the same time, it's something maybe you want to make money off while you're doing that. For some people, it may be about opening up a bed and breakfast and being a part of that and getting to know different people. I have a client that opened up a bed and breakfast in Spain. That was her dream. So she's here maybe a couple of months out of the year, and the rest of the time she's there and she's getting to know the guests that are coming in. And, that's part of her life. And that's not for everyone, but it's great that she set that plan in place for herself. And she knew this is what she wanted to do long before she got to retirement. I remember we planned and talked about it for like almost a decade till she got to that retirement and was able to do exactly what we had planned and put money aside for and so forth. So you can see it really matters how you're going to spend your time in retirement, so we can determine how much you're going to need for retirement. So that's what I want you to do today. I want you to tonight, maybe grab a glass of wine, and I want you to sit down, go to your favorite spot in the house, or if it's a restaurant, go to your favorite restaurant and just sit down, maybe look out at a beautiful view and start imagining, if I'm retired today, what will I be doing? And for those of you who are retired and you're like, Crystal, I'm so busy all the time. I don't even know, am I doing all the things I want to do? Well, this is a great time to sit down again. Either it's a glass of wine or a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you want. Sit down and start thinking about, am I spending my time the way I want to? If you are already retired. And if not, what are the things you wanted to do that you didn't get to? And should you sit down now and start thinking about that? And for those of you who are planning for retirement, start thinking what you're going to do. If you need help and understanding how also your cash flow and what you plan for, I have a class that you can go ahead and ask for, that you can watch online at your convenience. It's a 4.5 hour class about retiring. And I have Retirement 101 that you can listen to. If you have any friends and family that can benefit from this, that can make them trigger and think about what are the things they need to do. If you have parents that you want to encourage about retirement and what they need to think about, be sure to share that with them. If there's any topic or anything you want me to talk about during, next week's session, please let me know and I'll bring it up. In the meantime, always check out icwm.com and go to the Education Center and check out all the different education webinars and so forth that are there, and help yourself plan a much happier and healthier retirement, financially and psychologically. Have a great one.